Jesus loves the little children, all the children of the world. Red and yellow, black and white, they are precious in His sight. Jesus loves the little children of the world.
Hey, little friends. Thank you for joining me again this week as we read from the Read Aloud Bible Stories written by Ella Lindvall and published by Moody Publishing. And as you can see, I have Noah's Ark, resemblance of it along with the animals, and it's a story today about Noah and the ark. And so I thought we would do that. Yes, Uncle Marvin is not here. He is out of town. He went to visit family. So we look forward to him coming back, and hopefully he'll be back next week. So let's go ahead and begin with our story of Noah and the ark, or as what some say, Noah and the big boat. So Noah was God's friend. Noah made God happy. Noah tried to do just what God told him. Now Noah had 3 boys. Their names were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. God said, Noah, make a big houseboat. Water is coming. Water will cover up everything. You will be safe on the boat. And Noah did what God told him. God said, make rooms in the boat. Noah made rooms. God said, make a window in the boat. Noah made a window. God said, make a door in the boat. Noah made a door. God said, put something to eat on the boat. Noah did what God had told him. God said, put animals on the boat. Noah did what God told him. Into the houseboat went Mr. and Mrs. Cat, Mr. and Mrs. Horse, Mr. and Mrs. Dog, Mr. and Mrs. Pig, Mr. and Mrs. Grasshopper, Mr. and Mrs. Woolly Worm, Mr. and Mrs. Duck, and more animals too. Then God said, now you and your family get on the boat. So Mr. and Mrs. Noah got on the boat, Mr. and Mrs. Shem got on the boat, Mr. and Mrs. Ham got on the boat, and Mr. and Mrs. Japheth got on the boat. And then God shut the door. After a while, down came the rain. Drip, drip, drip. And after a while, up came the water. Splash, splash, splash. Soon, water ran over the streets. Water ran over the houses. Water ran over the little hills, and water ran over the big hills. Now the houseboat was floating, but Noah was safe inside. His family was safe inside. The animals were safe inside. Noah's family had something to eat. They gave the animals something to eat. Then they waited. They waited till the water went away. They waited till God said, it's time to get off the boat. Noah did what God told him. Mr. and Mrs. Noah got off the boat. Mr. and Mrs. Shem got off the boat. Mr. and Mrs. Ham got off the boat. Mr. and Mrs. Japheth got off the boat. All the animals got off the boat. They walked and ran and crawled and hopped. And God said, don't worry. The water won't come back. The water won't cover up the world anymore. It never has. And God made a rainbow. So what did you learn, little friends? Did you learn that Noah did just what God said? God took care of Noah, and God takes care of all the mommies and daddies and the boys and girls who do what He says. And that means you too, little friends. So share this story with Mom and Dad and Grandpa and Grandma about the importance of doing what God says. And I know that God will take care of you. Thank you for joining with me this week as we talked about Noah and his big boat. And I hope to see you next week along with Uncle Marvin. Have a great week and know that God loves you and I love you too. Goodbye, little friends.